There it is, our Ferrari 360 Spider. Our good friend Sjors is with us. He also picked up our Lamborghini almost from France, and today he's helping us too, to pick up the Ferrari again. We're super excited to start the project since the engine is broken. The Ferrari was so low that we had to pump the tires first. To create a bit of height between the bumper and the ramp, and a piece of wood had to come into play, or to raise the car a bit more. Once we got the Ferrari onto the carrier, which we're super happy about, George secured the car really well on the carrier so he doesn't have to tinker with it. Rolled off and we immediately headed to the workshop. So excited to start this project. I hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you find these kinds of projects super cool, because we're going to be doing this more often starting in January. 1 upload per week, guys. Luckily, unloading was easier because the height difference between the bumper, the car, and the car hauler was less, so you could just drive off. Alright guys, I'm extreme again. Proud of us that we've brought a new project home. It's not just any project, it's a Ferrari. First Lamborghini, now a Ferrari, completely mind-blowing. We wouldn't be Twins TV if we hadn't taken a huge risk. Just like with the Lambo. The Lambo was a huge risk, but luckily we managed to pull it off successfully. This is another one of those projects where we really took a massive risk, namely, we didn't have it. Hear it running. We have been quite familiar with this car for a long time, since we were about 16. Has this car actually been on the premises where we rent our warehouse? And we have always said to each other, never buy this Ferrari. I don't know why, but this thing has always actually been outside in a container, and the previous owner drove it about 1,000 times a year. 1 kilometer with me. No, virtually nothing, and yes, you can assume that if such a car is used so little, that there are some catches with such a car. The story goes like this. The owner who drove about a year, roughly 1,000 kilometers, so in 12 years, he has driven about 12,000 kilometers. And then there was a problem in the engine. The problem is as follows: the car runs unevenly. That's what we were told. The owner then took it to a car garage, and he concluded that it might be the head gasket, but he wasn't sure about that either. But one thing that is for sure, when they extracted the oil instead of oil, coolant was leaking or something water related. So they're still not sure if it's a head gasket or just a crack in the engine causing it, you know.
This Ferrari engine needs to be thrown away. Yes, and that's the risk we took. So we bought a Ferrari without hearing it run.
The old owner tells us that the car just starts and drives, but that it's not possible at the moment because of just standing by for a long time and a battery that's weak. Next to it, the garage obviously took the car apart. So, if we just open the engine compartment, because even that is a bit different than with the Lambo. Yes, it's all quite new for us, but we have here then a handle. If you pull that, then the tailgate opens and we reach the almighty V8 instead of the V10. Just look at the space you have. This is something we are not used to at all because the V10 completely fills the engine bay. Getting the engine in and out. It was just hell, truly a hellish job, and maybe you've noticed it too. We're missing here a very large part of our exhaust system. This isn't obviously an open space, but here the workshop, or at least the garage that tinkered with it, has dismantled the exhaust. I don't know why, since the head gasket. Goodbye. But that doesn't matter. We should have them included. Then we actually get to the next point. What did we actually gain? Well, the previous owner actually told us that everything that comes with the cars is in the frunk, or rather in the trunk, because it's located in the front in the Ferrari. And I'm really curious about whether it all adds up, if we have everything complete, and if it's included. Definitely, I'm totally hyped. My day can't get any better. I think this is really the content you've been waiting for. And yes, us too, because we are super hyped to do these kinds of projects, together with you. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Take a moment to subscribe because 54% of our viewers haven't subscribed yet. And this is definitely a project you don't want to miss, so what you've just been told, there should be parts lying around for it. We just got a bit hopeful there, Indeed, we saw some parts lying around, but we're going to go over what's all there with you, and when you see this... A tow hook often means trouble. Yes, I hear him. Great. This is also new, but we have him. I think we're actually a bit ahead of the curve, because we need to tell the viewers what kind of car this is. This is a Ferrari 360 Spider Modena, also known as... Am I saying it right, Modena Spider? Guys, we're not Ferrari experts nor Lamborghini experts. Not yet. Not yet, but we dare say it like that. Getting a car in parts, that's pretty much a sign already that you should not buy a car again. It means someone else has already tinkered with this car and perhaps we weren't told the whole truth and we're thinking, I'm throwing in the towel and passing it on, but then it's not my problem anymore. And then we're back in the game.
The twins buy another car that's falling apart, which we've actually never heard running. I'm just super curious about what all comes with it.
At least I see a battery cover lying nicely on top. Yes, also known as a footrest plate, which is all the way in the back by your foot where your battery is located. So that one is included. We have a box included. All original gaskets from Ferrari, see, that's good. Exhaust. Okay, wait. Now I think they've mounted that exhaust. Non-profit then. Dismantled. To have dismantled too. Because they're going to replace the gaskets. Maybe it was just leaking. So yeah, that's why they ordered new parts. Well, that's a lot of parts. I see Ferrari logos, so it wasn't cheap. Yeah, but I saw this again. So if you disassemble with this, if these are the things you disassemble, then I understand why you take a new pack. And so it goes. You have to replace it because, yes, you obviously can't put it back. The gasket literally falls apart, and it's really rusted. I hope the car isn't as rusty as this looks, because then we really bought a bad car. Then you won't be happy with me. To give you a bit more of an idea where the car comes from, it was at a small dealership that had it in the showroom for 2 years, inside heated. So that's obviously an advantage, but that it hasn't been picked up for 2 years. Then I get a bit jittery again. Yes? That does say something about the risk, the factor we have taken. For us, everything is content. It might be solved quickly. Can we move on to something new? Or will it be another years-long project which I'm not expecting, but you never know with a Ferrari, and then we're stuck with the problems. And that is something I do dread, though. That will be 20-0 if we accept the challenge. Yes! It also includes 2 inner screens, wheel arches. Look, I can see the exhaust already. This is the exhaust we are missing. Let's head back. Yes, indeed! As you see, we also have spaces here, and these fill the gaps. It will be right under TV Gelderland 2021. And then, of course, we're missing our big back box naturally, the silencer. You put that in too, if it's right. No, it's not here. These are the catalysts. But where is the back box then? We did have it, we have seen it. Where is it then? Is it impossible for him to be in the bus, maybe in the back? That could very well be. The biggest advantage is that the owner has actually guaranteed that the car is complete. And so, avoiding unnecessary expenses on buying parts. Because you just know the car's been delivered in full. And one thing we haven't seen yet is the radio. Just the front. But that's not a big issue if all is well. We should also have the original Ferrari radio that comes with it, so yeah. Ferrari logos everywhere. Cool, isn't it? Really sick. Dress. Hey, check this out. Look here, books. One thing that's super important is the car's history. It adds a huge value to it because if you don't, who doesn't know how the car was serviced or what the history of such a car is? A new owner might not want to take the risk of buying this car. So having that is absolutely awesome. More junk. What's that red thing? Bag with. I think this might be a car cover or something. Well, let's go then. It's not a car cover, it's too small for that. I'm thinking something for the chairs. Yes, seat covers. Oh yes, look. Steering wheel cover. No way. Yes, if this wasn't an enthusiast, then I don't know what is, huh? This is very sick! Just to put your car away for the winter with seat covers and steering wheel covers and... Sick, guys. I see Twins TV turning into Ferrari fans already. We've never done this with our Lambo, covering it all up like this. Shall we check if the convertible roof works? Yes, I'm incredibly curious to see if it works because, well, what's the use of a spider if it doesn't work there? Right? Shall we close this first? Yes. Make sure it's completely closed. As you can see, is the bumper still completely detached? This is because the exhaust has been dismantled, and of course for that, the bumper had to be removed. The brake discs are hugely rusted because it's been sitting idle for a long time. The brake pads are just worn out, but the brake discs are kind of okay. The tires, they are really hugely dried out. And yes, it has been in the tire shine because it naturally was in the showroom, that car. Then you won't be driving top speed on the highways, boys, with these tires. So, that really needs to be changed. He sure has a lot. Curb damage on the rims, and of course those brake discs that are completely rusted. He hasn't had an inspection for 2 years, so yes, that also says something about how long the car has been sitting idle. And if the problem had been small enough, I think the owner would have found the car themselves. At least with a logical mindset, you'd just fix that car if it was just something very minor. If the cost becomes just too high, sometimes choose a man to sell the car and then 2 guys show up. They say, yes, we'll just try to make it. Cost what it may, just take the risk. And we say, no, because as you know that Lambo was really massively burnt and it took us 2 years to get the car as we got it. But okay, new project, new opportunities, and indeed another challenge we won't shy away from. The car doesn't really have much damage, but it does have some small dents here and there, which I think can be removed because the paint is not damaged. It can be fixed from the inside by a professional. That's us. We're still amateurs thinking we know what we're doing, but you guys in the comments often know better than we do. So, feel free to let us know in the comments what you think of this, whether it's the content you like, and yes, is it something you'd even want to see, an engine overhaul, or just let me know what you think it is, because the problem is actually in the irregular idling, and of course moisture in the oil. So let us know in the comments what you think, what we should do as the next step. Because we obviously do not want to damage the engine if it's not already broken, and if it is. If it's broken, it can't get more broken. Yes. Shall we operate the roof for a bit? I'm curious if the roof works. We've had it on a trickle charger because that car has been sitting idle for 2 years. And the garage where we picked it up, they put a trickle charger on for us the night before, which is super nice. But I am really curious if the roof works. I do see wrinkles in it, but I think it will straighten out over time. By the way, it's the first time we're operating a roof of a Ferrari, so how that works. Can I give you the camera for a sec? I do hear things happening in the back. That's probably the automatic. It says check, okay. And? 85,000 kilometers, boys, and a half tank of fuel. Well, I'm going to operate the roof for a bit because I have all these little things here, all these buttons, so I'm giving the camera back to you. Thank you. My new camera as well. New project, new camera. Tell me about your camera. Which camera did you buy? I bought a new Alpha, A7 Mark III or something, I don't know. Cool thing. With a sick little fish inside. But I'm just curious, does the roof work? It does.
In 3, 2...
What does this mean? That something's not right. Other way. I heard something happen. Yeah, that's that flap. Because that's another Ferrari thing. That it all has to be electronic. What's still lying around here? Candies? Are they not expired? Yes, 22. How does the roof work then? Does the car have to be on the handbrake first, maybe? Foot on the brake, handbrake, now the roof. Do not start. No, definitely not. Look, now we have more lights on the dashboard. Let's go.
My door is closed.
So weird. Maybe my window needs to be completely shut. I don't think that... Maybe it just doesn't work, that's possible too. That's also a possibility, of course. Unfortunately, in this episode, we won't cover the roofing, but don't worry. In the coming episode, we'll just find out. Because I'm just curious, if that option doesn't work, then we might as well throw this Ferrari away. Who's going to buy a Ferrari in the future that doesn't work? Well, you can get used to it or not. What I really can't get used to is that all buttons. This one doesn't work. We need to look into that. Yes, this is really, we bought back the twins. Sticky buttons everywhere. It's just not normal. Everything sticks massively. If you have any tips on how we can fix that, it would really be welcome. Look, zoom in on this. Here you can really see what sticky buttons are. All right, guys, so this is not good. And of course, the engine, which doesn't work anyway. So that's the research we're going to tackle in the next episode. Since we don't have the means and the stuff to actually do research on that right now, we'll do that in the next episode. I've also just decided to drill through the wall next to us, so sorry about that. There's nothing we can do about it. Don't forget to subscribe. Starting January, we will be releasing 2 to 3 videos per week. What a noise! But that shouldn't spoil the fun because we are excited, guys, to take on another gigantic project. As you can see, it's a Ferrari with lots of catches, many things that don't work, and a huge risk. Want to be part of this? Don't forget to subscribe, and you'll see us in the next episode, where we'll dive deeper into Ferrari content and might also just wear Ferrari clothes, Ferrari hats, and get completely into the Ferrari vibe. See you there!